Good evening to you, and warm welcome to Prime Business with me, Pius Kojobaka. A senior finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Dr. Benjamin Amwa, has expressed worry the increase in loss of money through fraud cases in the financial sector in 2023 may affect confidence in the financial sector. He is concerned if the trend continues, that will have a major impact on the entire financial system. He's been speaking to Joy Business.
If you are an industry player, even if you are a client of a bank, when you hear of incidents like this and you hear of increasing trends in fraud, no matter how even small it is, you have to be worried. Don't forget, we have gone through a banking sector cleanup. We have gone through a domestic debt exchange program where financial services clients have suffered directly or indirectly as a result of some actions that have resulted in losses. And so if you are a bank client and you hear definitely that banks are recording fraudulent attacks, successful fraudulent attacks, you have to be worried. And so if the trend should continue, definitely it will have some negative impact on the confidence that we all have in the financial service sector. I want to have a financial service sector that is watertight when it comes to fraudulent activities. I don't want to go into a bank and be looking over my shoulder, cross-checking, just because I want to be double sure that something has not gone wrong. We want to have that peace and want to have assurance as far as our banks are concerned.
Meanwhile, the Bank of Ghana has denied reports that it is buying gold from illegal small-scale miners, popularly known as Galamsey, through its gold purchase program. It follows allegations by the Executive Director of the African Center for Energy Policy, ASEP, Ben Boache, that the central bank could be buying gold from these miners under its domestic gold purchase program without verifying its sources. But the Bank of Ghana is insisting that that is not the situation on the ground. It argues that every gold purchased is done through its responsible gold sourcing policy framework. This requires that all suppliers pass through continuous due diligence checks covering governance risk and compliance in line with best international standards. In a significant move to bolster financial expertise across West Africa, the Bank of Ghana has underscored the need to build the capacity of the region to address macro imbalances across the sub-region. We've got more for you at the opening of the joint IMF and YFM regional course on financial programming and policies here in Accra.
The joint IMF and the West Africa Institute for Financial and Economic Management regional course on financial programming and policies is meant to give participants the skills and knowledge that will help them to diagnose macroeconomic imbalances on nations. In a speech read on behalf of the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, advisor of the Governor, Dr. Stephen Opata, emphasized the need for capacity building while highlighting the growth in the banking sector.
Capacity building has become an integral component of IMF's mission, aside policy advice through surveillance to member countries and financial assistance extended to member countries in crisis. I'm therefore glad that these institutions have teamed up to build capacity in the sub-region to enhance our ability to diagnose macroeconomic imbalances and design appropriate policies to correct them. Seeing the banking sector remain stable, liquid, and profitable, and significant profits were recorded in 2023, helping to correct losses from 2022.
IMF team lead Owen Barrett emphasized the scope of the program.
It's the first course our own staff take when they enter in as new staff. It really brings together a lot of the other courses where we then go into more detail on specific sectors. So ICD, we have a large range of other courses where you then go into more detail on the fiscal policy, monetary policy, exchange rates, and so on. But financial programming brings it all together and gives you that broad picture. The other thing that's really good about it is it's very practical. We bring back some of the macroeconomic theory you've learned in your undergrad and your master's, but we try to take as practical of an approach as we can. So it's something you can really use in practice in your agencies.
Director General of the West Africa Institute for Financial and Economic Management, Dr. Baba Musa, commended the countries within the sub-region for improved economic outlook.
But countries have taken measures they have stabilized the debt ratios, and generally what we see is that there's prudent fiscal management in most of the countries, and therefore it has stabilized, and the repayments is being made. Of course, there are issues of reorganization and rescheduling, but in most of our countries, I think the debt situation is really being addressed, and the debt sustainability outlook is also looking good.
The 2 weeks program will see participation by country officials from central banks and ministries of finance of Cape Verde, the Gambia, Liberia, Nigeria, Ghana, and Sierra Leone.
The financial sector, more oil marketing firms are reducing prices of petroleum products at the pumps. And the price war, GOIL and of course Star, between GOIL and Star, it's having a great impact as well. Meanwhile, we've been hearing from the chief executive of the oil marketing companies as well. But we've got a reaction to this development. And managing director of the National Petroleum Authority, Mohammed Abdul Kudus, attributed the drop to the deregulation policy.
I believe it is just a manifestation of the deregulation at play, where the market forces are determining the direction of prices. Basically, that is the intention for the deregulation that has actually been envisaged and passed since 2015 till date, where the market prices, the forces of demand and supply would actually be determining the prices. And I think basically that is what we are seeing today. So previously we did not used to have the price floor. We only have had the price ceiling, where the OMCs would post with us what they intend to charge at the pump. Then our activity was to ensure that they do not charge beyond what they have posted with us or have indicated they will be charging their consumer. But as the business evolves and then complaints from the players come to our attention, we thought that there was the need to step in to ensure a certain amount of fair play.
The Ghana Mine Workers Union is mounting pressure on the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources to terminate the lease of Future Global Resources following its inability to comply with the 120 days timeline to revamp the BoG mine. According to the mine workers, Future Global Resources has failed to transform the mine, hence the need to withdraw their mining license to allow other prospective investors take over the mine for the greater good of all stakeholders. Abdul Mumengbana is the General Secretary of the Ghana Mine Workers Union.
Right from 2020 up until date, I must say that, look, they have reneged on virtually all their commitments, to the mineral rights that they acquired in the BoG mine. Clearly, if you look at their indebtedness to workers, their indebtedness to creditors, VRA, Gridco, Minerals Commission itself, the regulator, they are indebted to all of these stakeholders. And we believe that, look, if you do not have the capacity to run the mine, obviously, mining is not child's play. It's obviously a serious business, and you need to have the needed capital to be able to run a mine of that nature. And so over the period, workers and by extension, all these stakeholders have been in a tussle with Future Global Resources over their inability to raise the needed capital to run the mine. And day in, day out, the mine continues to sink. Right from December 2023 up until date, the mine has practically come to a halt. Underground operations have halted. Virtually the whole underground operation has flooded. And it's obvious that, look, to reclaim that mine will take a lot of dollars to do so.
Workers in the informal sector have been urged to join the Social Security and National Insurance Trust SSNIT. That's their pension scheme for the support of the scheme in their retirement. Chief Actuary of SSNIT, Joseph Poku, who was speaking after an awareness creation walk held in Tichiman, admonished the business community to take advantage of the scheme to help secure their future and that of their families. And Nasabit has more.
Dubbed as the Self-Employed Enrollment Drive, the SEED initiative aligns with SSNIT's mission, which aims at extending pension coverage to all workers, including those who work for themselves. The Social Security and National Insurance Trust, as part of its half-year SEED activation program, embarked on a street campaign aimed at creating awareness on the need for the public to subscribe to the scheme. Mr. Joseph Poku is the chief actuary at the SSNIT head office.
Last year, we launched an initiative that we call SEED, S-E-E-D, which is a self-employed enrollment drive. All that it means, or it seeks to do, is to make sure that those who are doing their own work, the self-employed, and people from the private sector, the informal sector, are also enrolled into the SSNIT scheme, so they can also enjoy the benefits that the scheme presents.
The SEED activation operational turn, according to Mr. Joseph Poku, constitutes part of SSNIT's attempt towards ensuring that workers within the non-formal sector benefit from SSNIT's list of pension schemes, including its Pension for Life package.
The SSNIT scheme presents the best value proposition that you can ever get. And I can confidently tell you that no institution in this country can provide that kind of benefits. The simplest, the first of all, benefit that we provide is pension benefits. That pays you pension for life. So once you become a beneficiary or become a member of the scheme and you qualify for pension, we pay you till you die.
That's it for Prime Business. I am Pius Kojoba.